Hello, everyone. I'm Esperanza Walsh, and this is Art from the Heart at St. Augustine's Church. And we are still doing this session remotely because of the COVID-19 lockdown. Now, for this session, we are still in the subject of blending. And for this one, since it's already spring, we look at flowers and we apply the blending technique to this flower. So here we did lavender, a pot of lavender in class, and I'm not sure if you can see the bottom clearly. There is shadow here from the flower. So we are going to do this right now. So are you ready? Okay, let's make a start. For this activity, the sketch would be minimal. Again, this is facing you, and the first thing I'm gonna do is to sketch the pot. Now, the top of the pot would be in the middle of the page. So let me just do that, sketch that here. Okay, and here there is a line. And then I will erase a certain part of this pot here. Okay, let me make this a little bit more curved. I think that's better. Okay, perfect. So we now have the pot. And this is the only thing we're going to draw for this particular art piece. The rest would just be painted directly. And we start with the base of the color lavender. So we would be using violet for most of this. And to do that, I'm just going to dab violet here on top of the pot. Now I'm going to start giving it shape. So like so. And then here on this side as well, like so. Higher at the center compared to the middle. And then I have my first layer of color. So the second layer would be blue. So I will get some blue paint. Oh, this is not blue. Okay. I have blue paint here. I'm using ultramarine, but you can use another shade of blue as long as it's dark. And I will also prepare for later. I will put some green paint here for the leaves later on. Okay, so let's go back to blue. So let's go back. There we go. And we will do something similar. So similar to the violet, we're going to have blue paint here, but only on the lower half of these flowers. Okay, so we have done the second layer. Now we're going to get some red paint, and we are going to do the same again, just dab the red paint, but now on the upper part of this flower. So like so. Okay, so we've done that bit. Now we will go to the leaves. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got some green paint, and we're now going to use the green paint here. So same thing, we're just going to dab green paint in this area, like so. Now here, Okay, because the leaves of the lavender are more like narrow stem with narrow leaves. So we're going to try and mimic that. Narrow stem, narrow leaves. Again, just let the let the paint just spread if it does. So do not worry. There we go. So we have leaves there. And now, rinse our brush. We will go back to the blue paint. So blue paint. And this blue paint we will have here to darken the leaves. Okay. We don't have to paint it in the same area, but it's definitely, since the paint is still wet, it's going to mix with that paint. Okay, and so there will be areas which would become darker and areas which would remain light. Now, the next layer would be burnt umber, but it will not be in this area. It will now be on the pot. So we need a light layer of, oops, sorry about that. We need a light layer. Okay, but since I painted this dark, okay, we will just follow on with that. So dark. And then we would need to do the other side as well. So the outer part should be darker. Like so. And remember earlier, there was a line here. So we are going to paint over that line. Use a broken line for that. Like so. Okay, fantastic. We have our pot. It's almost finished. But we, of course, we still have to do put some details on. And now we would need some black paint. And we are going to paint this area a little bit with black paint. And this will serve as the shadow from this plant. Let's say the light is coming from the top, like so, in this direction. So there would be shadows beneath the leaves. There will be shadows here as well. And of course, here, shadows here. So, and that black paint would create that shadow for us on the pot. So that's one kind of shadow that we would like to show in this art piece. So we're going to put some drops here of black paint as well. And then we are going to rinse our brush. Not too clean, still slightly wet. And we are going to dab those black dots and just let the paint spread by itself. Okay, fantastic. So now it creates the sort of dimension because the black areas will appear as shadows and the light areas would appear to be reflecting light. Now, we need to go back to this area over here, the lavender. So I'm going to get some more violet paint. I'm going to dab the violet paint here. I need more concentrated violet paint, not too loose, not too loose. It has to be thicker. Okay, that's better. And that is to create that layer. It makes it more three-dimensional because it's of a different shade. Okay, lovely. And now We let that dry a bit. So while we're doing that, we are going to paint more shadows. Okay, this time we need the black paint to be more dilute because we are going to paint the shadows here around the pot. And then slightly wider reach. So there we go. Okay, I want to darken this just a little bit, so let me just do that. Oh, fantastic. It's looking really good. And now I will get some more of the violet paint. And I'm just going to paint some lines here. Like so. In random areas, just some lines. And then I'm gonna get some blue paint as well. Similar to the violet ones, again, random areas. They don't have to be on top of each other. They don't have to be connected. And I am very happy with my output. So this is now our lavender, wherein we have applied our blending technique. We've used wet on wet on most of it. In some areas, wet on dry. And in some areas, we've used dry and dry and dry and wet. So we applied everything that we have learned. And yes, and it's easy to do and fun. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.